Alright, what's going on, guys? It's Reclaimer, and welcome back to another Halo 5 video. Today, I'm coming at you guys with another edition of the Arena Tips series. Today, we're going to be going over a Truth Flag gameplay. And while this isn't an arena game, it is close enough. All of these things that I'm going to talk about today, you can apply in Arena. But this is a game that you guys will see again tomorrow. But this was taken from the grand finals of the tournament that we played in January 3rd, I believe it was. We ended up winning the whole tournament without dropping a map, but this was the first map of the grand finals. The team was me, Justin, Clips, and Logic, and we played in the grand finals and ended up winning 3-0. Like I said, we didn't end up dropping a whole map, but the first thing that I want to cover that I haven't really talked about in the series yet is breakouts. So as you can see, we're playing Truth Flag, and if I back it up to the beginning, and we go back, I'll go over the breakout more in depth, but your breakout is super important. Your breakouts on any map, no matter what game type, no matter what map, your breakout is always super important because that determines how well you're going to do over the next 2-ish minutes. And obviously, momentum is a huge factor. And so your breakout determines a lot. So if you look, Truth is a map where breakouts are fairly simple, and they're going to be complicated on some maps like Rig and Plaza. I feel like they're more complicated and there's more different unique things that you could do. But there's basically 4 spots on the map that are, or I don't want to say 4 spots on the map that are the place to go, but there's a couple key places. So obviously, as you can see, we're sending 2 pink. We have Dom over here who's going to go pink attic and come help me on the pink street. I am going pink street to go and contest camo. So if you go over here, this is where I'm going. We're shooting the guys that are going their pink street, and we have to adapt right here. I've talked about adaptability on this series before. Sorry, I couldn't think of what I was going to say, but we've talked about adaptability before. So this is something that we had to adapt to. We were not expecting this guy. They had a really weird breakout. They sent 1 guy their pink, and then they sent 2 to the bottom of their base, which is a very unique strategy. And then they ended up sending 1 guy top middle. I think, yeah, they did. So they sent 2 bottom of their base, and this 1 guy flew from bottom middle to pink 1 to try to get the camo. And so this is something that we weren't expecting, so we had to adapt. So instead of flying towards the camo like we normally would, we just nade it hard. We called out to each other that they would be pushing it and ended up nading it really hard until we get the burn on the guy. So that way we knew that we were not going to be able to get the camo, so we decided to let him get it and then get a for sure kill on him rather than letting them have it or risk losing it. So here, Dom calls out to me that there's a guy pushing pink street, so I back up to help him because team shouting is super important. So we ended up getting that kill. And if you look at where we are, camo is now burned. They have 2 dead, I believe. There's 1 guy who's weak the front of their base. I think he's shooting bodies, and there's also a guy in their base. So this is a time where we need to push up. And so there's also 3 of us on the pink street, right? We have 1 pink 2, and then we have 2 on our pink street. So what we're going to try to do right here, since we have numbers, and also since they are still back in their base, and they took a really long time to sort of break out, we are going to be pushing out and sort of spreading out to try to get all the power positions. Our other 2 players ended up going top middle, and Car, I think our guy who went Car died, and then Justin went from top middle and got a kill, and is now pink 2 with us. So we're going to move up and try to get power positions. As you guys can see, since we are all pink side, they all go Car side. So we push. I don't know why it's still showing my health, even though I'm not on me right now, which is weird. But they've got 3 guys Car over here, and we'll go back to my POV. I end up dropping right here to try to stay alive. And then I'm basically trying to help shoot while still getting my shields. I get my 1-shot Car 1. I hear a call out from Justin. There's a guy right there. And I end up kind of outplaying this guy to get the triple. But at this point, there's 3 dead. The last guy is bottom of their base. And we have positions in their bubble and 2 coming up their pink. So they are for sure going to spawn at the bottom of their base. So after we kill these last 2 guys, the rest of the spawners should be at the bottom of their base. So we call out to this guy over here, which is Damon, I think, Logic. We tell him to stay in the bubble. Or this is, alright, so I don't remember exactly what was said in the game, but this is sort of the logical play that you should do. You should always try one of the best routes to do it, and there's really 2 main ways you want to run the flag on Truth. One way is to get them spawning Car, and you always want to slay first and then pull the flag. I didn't really cover that a whole lot in previous episodes, but slay first and then pull the flag. So you can either run it pink, which the most popular route is to run it through pink 1 right here, and then just up through your Eli and run it that way. but I'd say the most popular flag route to do and the easiest and most effective is to kill all of them and make sure that you have somebody standing in this right here, which is known as the bubble, standing in this bubble and blocking the spawns and then running it through car 1 or car 2, either one, because that forces them to either spawn on their flag, where the bubble guy can get easy shots on them, or the bottom of their base, which makes overextending to get a stop on the flag very difficult, because they either have to go bottom middle or pink, and pink normally takes too long, and in bottom middle you are a very easy kill. So it basically, if you time it just right, it makes it almost impossible for them to get a stop on you unless your flag runner chokes or something along those lines. But let's see. I think that's me top middle, and then we've got a guy card and we've got a guy pink. So we basically are about to collapse on these guys and try to get a flag pull. So our sword guy runs the flag, ends up running it towards pink and starts getting shot in the back. I think that's Justin. But also, a little tip for those of you who didn't know, running the flag with sword makes you run a lot faster with the flag. So you will see, on Truth especially, or I don't know if any other maps actually have sword beside Truth. I think Truth is the only map that has a sword. But you will see on Truth a lot that flag runs with swords are very popular. So Justin gets shot in the back, but because of the sword's movement, he gets away pretty quickly, and then this guy comes to help him, which is a really good play on his part. I think that's Dom. And so basically, I hear the call out from Justin, which is why I'm jumping into the window right now, that there's people chasing him. I think there's 2 guys chasing him at this point, maybe just 1. But we are still trying to collapse on these guys and get kills. So I come in here, that guy dies, and I immediately refocus car because I hear that a couple of them spawned here. So I go to kill this guy, he gets cleaned up, and we're basically slaying them perfectly right now. We get 3 dead right here, and so I immediately because I'm out of ammo, I grab the carbine, but we immediately repull. We set up for a relay. Now relays are kind of complicated, so let's go back a little bit. So as soon as, and that actually went back a lot farther than I wanted it to, but relays are very, very effective if you can pull them off. So relays, basically what a relay is, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, is where you have just captured a flag, and since you have them on such a good slaying cycle, a spawn cycle, where as soon as you cap a flag, you have a guy in their base immediately pull another flag, so you get 2 really quick back-to-back caps. A lot of the times, it's just 2, and even two caps in a relay is uncommon, and you almost never see 3 unless it's in like arena against a team that's just like significantly outclassed or something. But as you guys can see, we get 3 dead while pulling the flag. So Justin's in there capping it. Damon gets 2 kills, car. I am trying to help him, car, and then Dom is still in their base, and I think he gets this kill. So we still have them on a spawn cycle, and even though we don't have positioning, we are moving around the map faster than them, and we are winning our individual battles, and so we are able to just keep putting pressure on their base. So you can see immediately, as soon as we cap the flag, literally within a split second of us capping the flag, Dom is in their base, gets the kill, and immediately pulls the flag again. And see, he goes towards their window since we don't have positioning. This is kind of a weird play, but I think he ends up getting a call out to go somewhere else, because we have all 4 of them dead, and I don't think we're blocking car here. So what we should have been doing is blocking spawns somewhere, but we had obviously all just recovered from our battles, or whatever we had just been doing. And Justin has just captured the flag, so he's still working on getting out of our base. I think Damon had already gotten 2 kills. So you can see we immediately refocused towards car, because we left every single spawn open, and the bubble is a very common spawn. So we immediately refocused car, and since we pushed it fairly quickly, only 1 of them ended up spawning there, and the other 2 spawned under their base, I believe. Or they haven't spawned yet. Yeah, but yeah, the other 2 spawned under their base. And so Dom pulls it out front the base, because we didn't really know what they were going to do, and so we're in kind of a tough spot here. So what we said at this point was, or in really any situation, I don't really want to say that this is what we did specifically at that time. I'm not trying to give you guys a recap of the events, but what you really want to do when you're in a situation like this, where you don't really have numbers, of course we have numbers here, but you don't have a significant advantage over the other team, or where the flag is down in like an open spot like it is bottom middle. Bottom middle is never really a common flag route, but what you will see is people, you'll hear it called baiting the re. And so basically, you want to, if you're the attacking team, this is not for if you are the defending team, because if you're the defending team, it honestly kind of works the same. but you don't want to run and jump on the flag right away because you are very susceptible to grenades and team shotting, and so it's very easy to get melted. And if you say see, we're over here at car, I just pointed at the screen. I don't know why you guys can't see that, but if we over here at car, if we just ran and jumped on the flag and tried to get it immediately, then we would just get naded by all these guys bottom of the base, and then once they had numbers or once they had killed us off of it, they would have just gone and got an easy flag return. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump down here and we all start throwing grenades at it. We throw a pulse nade to the center at the door to the bottom of their base, which makes it very difficult for them to get out. And then I play for the touch here once we have it blocked off, and we see that all of them start going towards pink side. So the play call that they made here was to overextend pink side, which is... honestly, it's kind of a toss-up or a coin flip at this point for them, because they, I really felt like they could have sent somebody to fight from like their window or something, but as you guys can see, we're blocking the car spawn, I'm pulling the flag bottom middle, and Justin is already over here putting shots on them from top center. So Justin should really try to stay alive here, because there's 3 of them pushing pink. They all decide to try to overextend, but they all get weak, and then they all 2 of them try to go pink too, which is the longest way you can pull it. So I take a fast flag route. I end up going from front of the base, and I just go over here through car, and I'm just going to run it into our car door. So basically, these guys' job is to stay alive and to try to put pressure on these guys and kill them. So Dom comes off spawn somewhere over here, ends up spawning bottom of the base, and is going to fight these guys that are trying to overextend bottom middle. So basically, Justin makes a really, really good play here. Basically, he gets one guy weak and then stays alive top middle. So he's being a distraction to these guys that are trying to overextend, and the guys who are overextending are kind of in a bad situation where if they leave Justin and overextend, they'll just get shot in the back by Justin because he's in a power position. Or if they try to fight him, they're wasting time and end up giving me a cap, which is what happens. So those guys get stuck in pink 2 by Justin, which is really good because Justin was in a 1-on-2 and ended up pinning those guys in pink 2. And so Damon leaves the car bubble, and we just got 2 really, really quick caps. If I look at the timer in the game, I'm not sure. Yeah, it's 10:42. The game has been going on for less than 90 seconds, and we already have 2 flag captures, and 3 of them have, if I saw that right, 3 of them have 0 kills. So we've got them on a really big spawn cycles. But basically, there's no power weapons for a little while. There's no power-ups for a little while. Basically, we want to try to get kills and positioning right now because we're all in pretty bad positions. So you can see I end up falling back. I was pink 1. I end up falling back and going for pink 2, which is a power position. I got to call out that he grabbed the sword, and so I try to stay alive because obviously I don't want to get sorted. And 2 of my teammates go down right here. So this was kind of an important time in the game where we're all trapped in our base, and we don't want to end up giving up a flagpole. So we want to try to stay alive and team shoot right here. I did this thing called the peek shot right here, which is basically I kind of head glitch cover and peek in and out so that he can't hit me very easily, and then Justin ends up cleaning it up. And as soon as we get numbers, as soon as we have numbers, we all immediately flood out of the base and get power positions, which top middle, pink 2, and all that. And so Camo's coming up, and if I remember correctly, I think we missed it. I don't think we ended up getting the camo, or we just forgot about it completely. Let me see if it's up. But yeah, it just came up, and so nobody has it yet. I think Justin ends up getting it, or no, he ends up refocusing car. So nobody gets camo here. But or Damon does. So Damon somehow got down there. So we do a good job of getting the camo. Damon makes a good play here and hides. He knows there's going to be a guy looking for him, so he just tries to hide. And I'm coming to get his help. So at this point, like I said, we're staying alive. We're trying to get kills. Damon ends up perfecting that guy. And since we have numbers and they're spread thin, we are going to try to push into their base and be aggressive here. So I end up leaving Damon right there, which it's kind of a questionable play. I should have probably tried to support him a little bit more, but since these guys were moving kind of slow, it made it a little bit easier. But see, Damon has to retreat and ends up going out their car side. So we're still getting kills, but I end up dying here, and so Damon pulls the flag out while we're 2 dead, which means we're not going to get that. So as you guys can see, he gets 1 kill and then dies, and there's a guy on the return. But we somehow got a, if we take a look at that situation right here, we spawned at the bottom of our base, which seems kind of questionable since the 3 spawns that you'll normally get are like over here in your bubble, on your flag, or under your base. So we end up spawning at like the front of our base, and since me and Justin, or me and Dom, whoever that is, I think that's Justin, we spawn right here, and their flag is out pink 1. So we immediately melt this guy who's on the re. And so Justin calls out that he's playing for touch, and so I immediately refocus, and I go over here to get a better angle where I will have more angles to shoot, a more wider angle to shoot, and then more cover from pink 1. So I come over here, and Justin immediately starts running it. So what he does while we're running it, as you guys can see, there's a guy bottom of our base who OE'd from car, I think, and then there's 2 top middle. So basically, there's a guy on our flag who's going to come back and fight. I think we have 1 dead here. Or no, we don't. I don't know where he is. Oh, he's pink 3. So he's this guy pink 3 is putting shots on the guys that are OEing. So basically, the entire other team is in a crappy position because they are forced to overextend because obviously we're pulling their flag out. They got kind of unlucky with the situation that we were handed, but that's all about adaptability like we were talking about before. You always have to adapt to the situation that the game gives you based on spawns or timers or whatever ends up playing a factor in that situation. But they are forced to overextend, so we make the right play here. I think this is Damon is up here putting shots on these guys that are OEing. So the 2 guys top middle are getting shot from pink 3, and they have to look at him. There's a guy going bottom of our base, which is going to probably get caught out by this guy who's our flag right now. And then I am escorting Justin. Escorting the flag is always very important. You don't want to ever leave your flag carrier alone because your flag carrier alone cannot do a whole lot. So you never... I don't want to say never, but unless you have for sure the entire enemy team trapped when you're pulling the flag, you should probably escort the flag guy. Just make sure that his get cutoffs is what we call it. So we just watch all the areas. So as you can see, I slide and I look out and I see that guy going bottom of our base. And so me and Justin are going to try to get in here as fast as I can. These guys top middle are preoccupied, which is good for us. And then there's one of them dead. So this basically, me and Justin and this guy on our flag only have to worry about the guy that's under our base right now. So this guy under our base goes to lift to try to get a last second touch. And you can see this is really important. So no radar is still a thing. Or radar's still a thing, my bad. So this guy makes a really good play. I think that's Damon, actually. He makes a crouch play, so this guy who's lifting up can't see him on the radar. So he's coming up to try to get a flag touch so that we can't cap it immediately. But Damon makes a crouch play, so this guy can't see him and jumps right up into Damon, who's waiting there. So those guys top middle, even though they were weak, they ended up making it to our window. So they ran from top middle into our window. So there's 3 guys in our base now, but they're all weak, and that's the advantage that we have. So none of them are focused on us. They are focused on the flag. So Damon is fighting this guy. There's 2 of us fighting this guy, actually. So this guy is going to die really quickly because we're both shooting at him. These other 2 guys are coming in through the window. And so we basically got to all try to refocus and get these kills. So we get 1 kill, and then we basically team shot the crap out of all of these guys. And so that's 3 dead, and then that's the last guy right there. Ended up getting 4 dead. So we lost a couple guys, but it still ended up working out fine. So Damon is just able to go over here and get the flag and the return and also thrust it in. So I know that was a really quick game. That was really I don't remember exactly how long that was, but it's really fast game. But we played that almost to perfection, and so I wanted to show you guys what that looks like. I know this is a different kind of video because and as you guys can see, this game only ended up lasting about 3.5 minutes. So we played that almost to perfection. So if you look over here, yeah, I don't know, but this is sort of different for the Arena Tips series that I had going on. I wanted to take a more analytical approach with this one, and I know there's a lot of stuff to talk about, but adaptability, I guess the 2 things that I wanted to focus on, which is our adaptability, which I've talked about before in this series many times, and then also breakouts, because breakouts are super important. So as you guys can see, if we go all the way back to the beginning here, breakout will determine basically how your team is going to do, and momentum plays a really big factor, as I said. So your breakout is always going to be super important. So it is especially important. Truth, it's kind of easy because there's only a few set spots where you can go to, but on maps like Eden Strongholds or Eden Slayer even, or Rig, there's a lot of different things that you can do, and it starts to get pretty complicated. But on Truth, basically, you want to secure the camo, and then the sword and the plasma pistol are the only 2 things that you really need to worry about. So as you guys can see, we send one guy pink street, one guy pink attic. This guy who goes car attic is going to go top middle, and then we send a guy bottom car to help shoot these guys who go pink street. So that was our breakout. It ended up working pretty effectively. We ended up burning the camo because we adapted to this guy right here. So yeah, it's a lot of things to cover. Let me know if you guys like this more, the sort of analytical approach to to going over these, which means I go over it post game in theater. Let me know if you like this better or the way that we did it first, which was obviously a live commentary, and I basically give you guys my thoughts as it's happening. Just let me know what you think, which one or which layout you prefer better. But that's gonna do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. There's gonna be more tournament gameplay tomorrow. I know this was a long video, but I really wanted you guys to, or I really wanted to try this out because these sort of analytical videos are fun for me to do. And I like being able to talk about Halo and how it's played and things like that. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Likes appreciated. Subscribe if you're new. More competitive tournament gameplay tomorrow. Likes appreciated. Subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you guys later.